going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
Hey guys, welcome back to Super Dynamic Bros. I'm Mike Cervona.
I'm Isaiah Amato.
And today we're going to be reviewing Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Isaiah, this was a very, very different kind of Star Wars experience.
It is. And that's what I think was good about it too. Because a lot of people I know, the complaint about Episode 7 was...
It was too similar.
The fans loved it. Regular Star Wars goers, movie goers would be like, oh, this is just the original trilogy. Oh, it's just copying that.
I loved Force Awakens, but I will, I'm not going to, sit here and say it's not anything like the originals. It's very much like the originals, but I did enjoy the new characters that came along with it.
I look at it as a modern take. Like a nostalgia feel of, we haven't had a Star Wars movie in X amount of years.
Yeah.
We haven't had a good Star Wars movie in a longer time.
30-something years before.
So,
and it was good to it was like a good way to like come back into the world. And now what this one does is freaking take it off the rails. And pretty much this is the most different Star Wars movie that has come out. And there's good things and there's certain bad things about that.
Yeah, this movie's not terrible and it's not 100% perfect.
Yeah, there's a lot of more questions. There's some answers you get. If you really love the characters from Episode 7, I think they all shine in their own way, especially the dynamic between Rey and Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
I think they really kind of like expanded their relationship going on forward and stuff. And there's a lot of kind of cool twists and turns that they really like present in the way. Mark Hamill is back in this one, Luke Skywalker. I gotta say, this is actually in my opinion, his best performance as Luke Skywalker. There's a real complexity to his Luke Skywalker this time.
Yeah, it's not like the same old Luke Skywalker. It's more of an aged Skywalker, as you could say. So it's not like when you saw Harrison Ford. Oh, okay, it's just Harrison Ford being Han Solo.
It's Han Solo again.
No, this is a more aged, wiser, you could say, Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he's very. You can tell so many things happen to him between Episode 6 and now, and there are some things that happen that some fans will be divided on. Some fans will say, it went off in an unpredictable way, and it's a little bit exciting to see where they go, where they end up going now. And
besides answering questions that we had in 7, they kind of either threw it away or give you like the answers that you didn't really want to hear. But he also gave you other questions, answers to questions that you didn't even think about asking, as far as, let's say, like the Force or how to be a leader. It's questions like that. It's like, wow, you look at it from this point of view, it's like, this is pretty good.
And they really use the Force in a completely different way than they do in other Star Wars movies. I actually really like some of the things that they did with the actual Force in this movie. I thought it was something new. It was like, okay, we never seen these certain powers before. And I'm like, that's good. Expand more on what the Force can do. There's so much mythology behind it. Of course you can do new and more things with it. I thought that was pretty awesome. And I really love the fact that this movie also expanded on other side characters that were in The Force Awakens. Like, finally, Poe Dameron got to do a whole lot more in this movie. He was actually one of my favorite parts about the movie. General Hux was... I really enjoyed his character a lot. He gives a lot of kind of... There was a little like comedic moments with him that I thought really worked very much. And Carrie Fisher, this is her last Star Wars movie. And, it's sad to know that she's not going to be in Episode 9, but... There's some things that I really like that they did with her in this movie. Mm-hmm. But then there's one tiny thing that I'm not going to really get, it's kind of a spoiler.
Yeah, so we're not going to say it.
But it didn't really land well with me.
Yeah, when you're watching, you'll be like, oh.
It could have been done in a different way.
Exactly.
Like, they could have been like, I know what they were trying to show, but it could have been done in a not so kind of little bit in a too cheesy, like kind of like on the nose way.
That's why I feel like this movie, which it was somewhat for the fans, but I mostly feel like this one kept going more towards the audience and give them everything that they didn't like in the seventh one and just did it in this one.
Yeah.
So of course nobody's ever going to be satisfied. Is either you satisfied A or you satisfied B.
And you can then you can be in the middle of them. But like, yes, there are some things in this movie that I don't agree with. I kind of have problems with. There's a middle subplot in the movie that if DC was running the show, that would have been cut out. Basically, and it kind of dragged the movie on so a little bit too much.
Kind of pointless.
Yeah, in the end, like when you kind of think about it, like, okay, that whole subplot was a little pointless. Didn't really feel like a Star Wars movie. Yeah. But overall, the main story is very solid. I'm very excited about what we're gonna do next in episode 9.
I would like to see how bringing back J.J. Abrams, the original director of episode 7, how would he take whatever that he did in 8 and then do his own in 9? Because you can see a lot in this director, took a lot from 7 and then just kind of threw away the stuff he didn't want. So will it be like a back and forth thing?
Well, I think because JJ read the script for this one, before episode 7 was even came out, and JJ was like, man, I would love to have also directed this one too, because he agreed with all the things that were in the script. So I think there's a good kind of like relationship between these directors. So going in 9, he Rian Johnson gave him pretty much like the blueprint, and JJ, I think, is he's gonna go off of that, and I don't know, we're gonna get probably something very exciting. Hopefully, we get a lot more questions answered in 9, especially when it comes to Rey and Kylo Ren. Mm-hmm. So I think those two there's still like a big kind of like mystery kind of like behind them too.
Yeah, and you really have to see them two go at it finally at once. But other than that, I thought it was a good popcorn flick, good storyline, like he said. Visual effects were amazing. As always.
There's some parts in this movie that look like a beautiful painting.
Exactly. There was some practical effects and there was some CGI, but at the end looked really good. Yeah, and I'm gonna give a score, and I think I'm gonna go an 8 out of 10 for this one. Damn, why are you always matching me every time I do? I'm so sorry. I was really going 8 out of 10, and in the back of my mind throughout this whole video, I was like, okay, 8 out of 10. Sounds good. It's not as good as obviously the original 2. New Hope. New Hope, Empire Strikes Back. I think sometimes it's a little bit better than Force Awakens, just a little bit. But I gotta say 8 out of 10. Honestly, guys, just go see it and go see it. Like, I would definitely like repeat viewings for this one. Yeah, because I had to wait at least a couple hours to process everything in my mind. When you watch the movie at first, you're going to be a little cloudy at first, trying to process everything that just happened. No. Trying to figure everything out. Yeah, first time I watched it, I didn't even know what to think about it afterwards. Yeah, they kept asking me. I was like, Star Wars, man. I don't know. It was Star Wars. But yeah, I definitely recommend repeat viewings for this one, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining us today. And of course, may the Force be with you. You will subscribe to our channel. You will subscribe.